Have you ever wondered how to get one of those truly amazing nights of sleep? Well, today, we're going to dive right into the science behind it. We're not talking about any magic pills or quick fixes, but simple, really powerful habits you can start using literally tonight to wake up feeling fantastic.
Does this sound familiar? I bet it does. You're physically exhausted, you lie down in bed, and nothing. Your mind is just racing. You are so not alone in this. Millions of us struggle with this exact thing every single night. But the good news? The solution isn't some big mystery. It's actually built right into our biology. And you know what? That is not an exaggeration. Quality sleep is absolutely foundational to everything we do. Our health, our mood, our ability to think clearly. So yeah, it's time we started treating it like the superpower it really is.
So, let's start our quest for better sleep. The first thing we need to do is understand why it's so important and how we can learn to work with our body's natural rhythms instead of constantly fighting against them. Okay, our journey starts with the single most critical factor for improving your sleep: consistency. And this isn't about just trying to sleep more, it's about sleeping smarter by getting that internal clock of yours perfectly tuned.
So deep inside your brain, you've got this incredible master clock. Just think of it like a conductor for a huge orchestra. It tells every single part of your body when to be active and when it's time to rest. It signals the release of hormones, like melatonin, to make you feel sleepy. And just like any good conductor, it absolutely needs a consistent schedule to work its magic.
Seriously, for your circadian rhythm, regularity is king. Sticking to a fixed schedule, even after a rough night's sleep or, and this is the hard one, on a Saturday morning, is what anchors your entire sleep cycle. It is probably the simplest and yet most powerful change that you can possibly make.
Here's a brilliant little hack for you. We all use an alarm to force ourselves out of bed, right? So why not use one to tell ourselves it's time to start winding down for bed? It's just a simple, effective cue to start your nightly routine.
All right, now that we've got our timing sorted out, let's talk about the room itself. Let's create the perfect environment. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary for sleep, a place that sends all the right signals to your brain.
Believe it or not, this right here is the sweet spot. It might seem a little cool, but to actually fall asleep and stay asleep, your body needs to drop its core temperature. A cool room helps that natural process along. It's why it's always way easier to fall asleep in a room that's a bit too cold than one that's way too hot.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how these three things, cool, dark, and quiet, all work together in perfect harmony. Total darkness is absolutely crucial because it triggers the release of melatonin, your natural sleep hormone. Meanwhile, a cool and quiet space makes sure your body isn't startled out of its sleep cycle. Okay, so we've set our internal clock and we've optimized our environment. Now let's dig into the specific habits that get your mind and your body ready for a night of deep restorative rest. And this slide brilliantly illustrates one of the biggest problems of our modern lives. Getting plenty of sunlight during the day sets our clock perfectly. But then, in the evening, the blue light from our phones, our tablets, our laptops, it sends the exact opposite signal. It actively tricks our brain and suppresses the melatonin that's supposed to be making us feel sleepy. I love this analogy. Sleep is not an on-off switch. You just can't go from 100 miles an hour to a dead stop. Your brain needs a gentle descent. So for about 20 or 30 minutes before bed, put those screens away. Go read a book, do some light stretching, maybe listen to some calm music. You have to give your mind a runway to land. Now here's a powerful psychological trick. Your bed should be for sleep and pretty much only for sleep. If you just lie there tossing and turning, your brain starts to associate your bed with the stress and frustration of being awake. So by getting up, you break that negative connection. You only go back to bed when you actually feel sleepy again. All right, what we put into our bodies has a huge direct impact on our sleep quality. So let's look at a few key things to be really mindful of, especially in the evening. You know, when it comes to food and drink, timing really is everything. That 3 p.m. coffee could still be wiring your brain when you're trying to go to bed. And while, yeah, a glass of wine might feel relaxing at first, it actually fragments your sleep later on, robbing you of that deep, restorative rest. A little bit of planning here goes a very long way. So, we have covered a lot of ground, from setting your internal clock to creating the perfect wind-down routine. But before we wrap this all up, there is one very, very important thing to remember. Think of it this way. All of these tips are like a fantastic training plan for an athlete. They can dramatically improve your performance.
But if you have a broken ankle, no amount of training is going to help until you see a doctor to fix the underlying problem. It's the exact same with sleep. If you think something more serious might be going on, please go talk to a professional.
Getting better sleep doesn't mean you have to do this massive life overhaul. It just starts with small, consistent habits. So looking at everything we've talked about, what is the one simple thing you can commit to trying tonight? Maybe it's setting that bedtime alarm, or maybe it's just putting your phone away 30 minutes earlier. Just start there and build on it. Your future, well-rested self is going to thank you.